Welcome to HyperProfit. I'm Andru Edwards, and while none of this is financial advice, today we are talking about one of my favorite long-term stocks, NVIDIA, ticker symbol NVDA, and why it went soaring today. Now, if you missed it, NVIDIA was up by a healthy percentage today, almost hitting a new all-time high record for the stock, thanks to a few announcements and news catalysts. Now, before we jump in, let's get started by taking a look at my public portfolio and how it's been doing over time, especially as we continue to see market volatility. So here we can see for the day, I am down 1.88% and then up 0.05% in the aftermarket. For the week, I am down 1.94%. For the past month, I'm down 7.88%. For the past 3 months, I am down 7.25%. For the past year, I'm up 11.23%. And then all time, I'm up 10.96%. And as I said recently, I sold a bunch of stock at the high and then rebought on the dip. So that did throw a few things off. For the past month or so, the true number when you take that into account would be that I'm actually up about 23%, or about 22.2%. Okay, now moving on to NVIDIA, ticker symbol NVDA. As you can see here in the after hours market, it's currently sitting at $607, which is up about 5.6% for the day. I own just over 25 shares of my portfolio at an average cost of $514 per share, giving me a total return of about 18%, or just over $2,350. Now, I do own additional shares of NVIDIA in my Webull account since I do most of my buying in the pre-market and aftermarket. Make sure you have a Webull account so that you can do the same with the rest of us here on this channel. Link down in the description below. Webull gives you an extra 8.5 hours of trading time per day, which allows you to scoop up deals while everyone else is sleeping. And that's where I make a lot of my profit. I'm a big believer in the pre-market and aftermarket. Now, what I did do today though, rather than buying shares, is I bought an options contract and held on to it for just over an hour before selling it for a nice profit. So as you can see, I spent $663 on the contract, and a little over an hour later, I sold it for $1,095, giving me a profit of 432 bucks. I then took that and bought 20 more shares of Palantir, one of my top 5 stock picks for long-term growth. If you missed my video on Palantir and why I think it'll be the most important software company in the future, I will leave a link down in the description for you so you can see it right underneath the like button. So feel free to hit that on the way there if you appreciate videos like this one. And also don't forget to hit the subscribe button while you're down there so you don't miss any future videos. Now, moving on to why NVIDIA stock is up today, there are several factors. First, today was the keynote for the annual NVIDIA GTC Developers Conference, where major announcements are made. One of them was that NVIDIA will be launching its first data center CPU. Now, this is a big deal because NVIDIA is known for their GPUs, which handle graphics. Getting into the CPU business puts them in square competition with companies like Intel and AMD. Then, later in the day, NVIDIA announced that its fiscal first quarter revenue is tracking above its $5.3 billion forecast. Now, back in February, NVIDIA forecast between 5.19 and 5.41 billion, and analysts set expectations of 5.3 billion. Since the company is on track to beat that number, the stock rose. Now, for those wondering, NVIDIA did not provide an updated number outside of saying they expect it to be above that 5.3 billion. In another announcement, the company said it expects first quarter revenue of 150 million for its cryptocurrency mining chips, which is 3 times higher than the previously expected 50 million. And that wasn't all though, as it was also announced that Volvo would use a new generation of high-powered chips from NVIDIA to enable more autonomous driving features in future vehicles starting next year. NVIDIA said that it forecasts that it can generate 8 billion in revenue over the next 6 years from sales of its NVIDIA Drive automotive systems. Another announcement, yes, NVIDIA still had more going on today. This one saw NVIDIA announce that it's developing a new onboard computer system on a chip called Atlan. Atlan will give a car the computing power that's currently found in a data center and should be ready for installation in 2025 model year vehicles. And if somehow that all wasn't enough, Cloudera and NVIDIA announced a collaboration that will allow companies to use GPUs in more areas across the development of artificial intelligence. Cloudera will integrate its own Cloudera data platform with NVIDIA's accelerated Apache Spark 3.0 libraries, making it easier to add machine learning workflows without needing to know how to directly customize the GPU to do it. Now, out of 38 analyst ratings, 82% of them list NVIDIA stock as a buy, 13% say it's a hold, and only 5% say it's a sell. The company's been on a roll over the past year as the stock is up over 133% compared to where it was 12 months ago. Now, let me know, do you own any NVIDIA or do you plan on picking any up? This is a long-term hold for me, as I think NVIDIA chips will be one of the main ingredients we see across the industries of the future. I'm talking data centers, biotech, autonomous vehicles, AI, machine learning, and more. Any questions you have about NVIDIA, drop them down in the comments below. I will meet you there for further discussion. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos. Thanks so much for watching as always, guys. I appreciate your support. I'm Andrew Edwards, and I'll catch you in the next episode of HyperProfit.